Hey there, and welcome back to Tim Talks Cooking. Today, we are talking keto beef stroganoff, my friend. You heard me right, keto beef stroganoff. And we're going to use my delicious keto cream of mushroom soup to do it. Anyway, I'm excited about this recipe, so let's get started. Here are the ingredients you'll need to make this delicious recipe. It starts off with 2 pounds of chuck roast. This is like a pot roast that I've cut into 3/4 inch to 1 inch dice. I've also got a cup of bone broth here. This is beef bone broth. You could use chicken broth, beef stock, veg stock, really whatever stock you like. I've also got a pound of crimini mushrooms that I've sliced thinly, as well as 1 medium yellow onion. You could use a big yellow onion if you don't have shallots, because I've also added some shallots. I just happen to have them on hand. This is about 3 shallots that I've also diced rather small. I've also got 4 cloves of minced garlic here. You could use a little more, a little less. For the sauce, you're going to need 2 pints of my cream of mushroom soup, my keto cream of mushroom soup, 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, 1/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum, 1/2 cup of chopped parsley for garnish, and you want to serve it on something, so I've made some Zoodles here. You could also use cauliflower rice or whatever it is you'd like to serve your beef stroganoff on. We're going to start off by preparing our beef in the Instant Pot. First, we're going to heat up our oil to a very hot temperature. I think this is just beginning to smoke. And we're starting to sizzle there. We're going to get our onions and shallots in there. And reserve the garlic for just a little bit later. Give that a stir. I've got a little piece of mushroom in there. Not going to hurt anything at all. Give it a little salt, a little freshly ground black pepper. And we're going to saute these until they're translucent. That'll take a couple of minutes. It's been about 3 minutes now, and you can see my onions and shallots are really cooking away. They're softening. They're becoming translucent here. I'm just going to add in the beef. This is quite a bit of beef for this small space, but that's okay. Here we don't want to really get much color on it. We just want to cook it on the outside. And here you can see that there's not really hardly any pink at all left here. That means we're ready to turn off the heat. Well, just for a moment. I'm going to add in my garlic now, because I don't want to overcook it. Give it a stir. Next, we're going to add in our cup of beef broth. Now that we have all of the ingredients for the beef base assembled, I'm going to put the top on the Instant Pot. I'm going to set the valve to seal, and I'm going to set this to meat and stew, which is the highest pressure setting. And I'm going to set it for 30 minutes. And of course, you know this is going to take more than 30 minutes. It's going to build up pressure until it gets to the right pressure. And when it gets there, it's going to start counting backwards from 30. And from there, it'll be 30 minutes. I've been heating the saute pan over medium-high heat for about 2 minutes now. And now I'm going to add 3 or 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to saute our mushrooms separately from the rest of the dish. If you've seen me cook the mushrooms for the cream of mushroom soup, you know that I like to do them separately. And here we're going to really cook these thoroughly. And I want to brown these a little bit. Get all of them in there. Okay. Anyway, here we go. We're going to saute these. This is going to take 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Here I'm just going to leave them right where they are for the first 2 minutes before I even move them at all. Here we are after about 3 or 4 minutes. You can see the mushrooms have shrunk. They're beautifully thin. They're cooking down here. I'm just going to continue to cook them until the liquid is all gone and until they start to brown a little bit. And here we are a couple of minutes later. You can see all of the liquid has evaporated. Our mushrooms are now starting to brown. And these are really thin. I don't want to burn them. I'm going to take them off heat and set them aside for when our beef is done. Okay, there's the signal. And now my beef has finished cooking. Now I'm going to turn off the Instant Pot. And I'm going to allow the pressure to descend naturally, which means I'm not going to turn the valve to venting to release the pressure right now. We're going to wait about 20 to 30 minutes for the pressure to descend on its own. Now it's been 20 minutes. I'm going to turn the valve to vent. No hissing, no anything, so we're down to pressure. Just take the lid off there. Look at that. I think that looks great. Oh yeah, beautiful. Oh, I can just feel by touching it that this meat is nice and tender. Now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn the saute feature back on. That's going to continue to heat this up. This is still nice and hot. Now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Let's get those mushrooms in there. Stir them in. Get the mushroom soup. Oh, this is going to be so delicious. Calls for 2 pints. We'll get those both in there. Oh, this is going to be just delicious. Now the sour cream. I'm going to give this a stir. We still have the xanthan gum to add in. Oh, I think that's just beautiful. Very nice. I'm going to let this heat up a little bit before we put our xanthan gum in there. And so that'll take a minute or two. My stroganoff here is heated through. I'm going to add in the xanthan gum by just sprinkling it over the top and stirring it in. Xanthan gum takes a little heat and a little time to thicken a sauce, so we're just going to be patient with it. I'm just going to stir this a little bit and we're going to let that continue to heat up. We're bubbling away here. Now it's time to add our parsley. I'll save some for garnish on individual servings. Just stir that in. And there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Well, all right, let's give this a taste. Oh, it looks so good. Mmm. And it smells great. Man, is that good. Wow. Get a little mushroom zucchini action going on there. Mmm. Just fabulous. The beef is melt in your mouth tender, absolutely falling apart, just delicious. The gravy, of course, is so mushroomy and creamy. It's got exactly the right amount of seasonings. Just love it. Listen, I hope you'll try this dish. And I hope you'll also, before you go, like, share, comment, and especially subscribe. Please subscribe. It helps my channel grow. And it also helps you find my videos, especially if you click on that notifications bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video, which is generally a couple of times a week. Listen, thanks for joining us here today at Tim Talks Cooking. We'll catch you next time.